Howdy, my name is Patrick James Frederick the First, and this is my belief map. Let's do this. Let's give it some time here. We'll get the laser pointer ready to go. Look at that. Wow. There we go. So the first section I want to talk about is finances. Um, so I broke finances down to three different categories: money, debt, and career. So the first thing I'm going to talk about about money is about how necessary money is in life, about how um, it's needed to do a lot of things, to achieve a lot of things. It's a tool as a means for an end, really. That said, though, even though it's necessary, it can be very addictive. I draw that from one of my favorite movies, Wolf of Wall Street. You can see the story of Jordan Belfort going through the addiction that is money. So that's always something to keep in mind. Um, the next thing is debt. So debt, I'm a finance major, so I view debt very much as risk. For a lot of companies, we uh, view debt as a risk factor. So it is risk, but with risk comes reward. Basic rule of finance. So it can serve as a ladder for a lot of people. A lot of people who take a risk um, can climb their way out of their current situation. For example, my brother recently took a lot of debt on to buy a successful preschool, and hopefully we'll see that go somewhere positive. Last thing is career. I believe a career is something that solves a need, whether it's personal or um, worldly. Like a lot of people that do, like people who sell water, they solve a need for people who need water and stuff like that. So I think a career, you focus it around a need in life. That said, it provides money, which goes up here, so you can achieve dreams, so you can get more of that tool for the end. So that's why I view finances in my tree of life here as kind of the root. It's kind of the base of of what can sprout out of here, and I'll go over that later. So next is health. So health, I broke it down to, well, health in general, exercise, and food. Health, I believe, is an overall well-being, as if it was a graph. Like you can be less healthy and more healthy. So it just kind of measures how your overall well-being. So how to become more healthy, one step is exercise. Um, Exercise I describe as it's a self-decided balance of strength, cardio, and flexibility. And what I mean by that is that the three basic ways to exercise is you can do a lot of weight training, which makes you stronger. You can run a lot, which makes you have a better cardiovascular. Or you can do a lot of yoga, which makes you more flexible. Or you can do a little bit of all three. And your typical exercise plan will have a balance of all three. A little fun fact. Exercise will lead to better fitness, which kind of can be defined by yourself. It can be very fun. I have fun when I exercise generally, especially with strength. I love to lift weights, and I have a very good time doing that, so I consider it very fun. But it really is half of the pie that is health, the other half being food. Food is delicious. I love the hell out of food. That said, it can be very addictive as somebody who's lost, I think, 20 pounds, almost 30 pounds actually. At this point in life, I've dealt with how addictive food can be. So that's kind of why over here I put health as more of the trunk, because the trunk's very visible and it kind of it's kind of the life area of the tree. So I consider healthy as the life of the tree. All right. Another thing I want to talk about is my faith. So faith, I broke it down to God, church, and evil. So my beliefs on God is that God's very relational. He wants to have a relationship with us and human beings. On top of that, I believe that he is the creator. He created us and the earth, and that's something to keep in mind. And on top of that, he loves us. That's something I consider important. Next thing is church. I consider church to be a gathering place, a place of fellowship, but also a place to learn. So it's a place that encompasses all three of these. Um, Lastly, for evil, I put anything that's not of God. Assuming God's all good, then anything that's not good is evil. Um, and then anything that's evil will separate us from God, and which will break away the relational piece that is God. So I kind of put faith over here as the leaves or the fruit, because it's the fruit of all the work down here, your career, and then your healthiness, and all this can lead to your fruit that is your faith. So I would view faith to be a little bit more foundational. I think honestly it can go either way, but I think just for this diagram, we made a little bit more of the fruit because of the metaphor that Jesus talks about how faith is the fruit and or the fruit of our works and stuff like that. Alrighty. So lastly, we're going to talk about relationship. So I broke into 3 different specific relationships: friends, marriage, and parenting. So friends, I believe, are very close and open relationships. I think they're very essential in life. And lastly, I put that they're very easy to get but hard to keep. I think you need to take a lot of work on keeping your friends, and it's not always easy. You can go through, everybody's different, so it can be a little bit tough, but they're worth it because they're very essential. So for marriage, I just consider it to be a partnership. It's you and your spouse working through life. It's a lot of hard work because you're sticking forever, and it's a promise. I do believe it's a promise, and I consider it hard work because I saw my parents who got divorced were not willing to go through that hard work. So that's kind of where I get that from. And parenting, I put it as teaching, loving, and also hard. It kind of relates with marriage. It's just not easy to do. And then there's the representation of relationships. I am running out of time here, folks, so we're just going to cut it right there. Yeah, the end.